Greetings. This is the one you've known as Jesus the Christ. Any experience can be gained from, no matter how hard, and most of the wisdom and many of the greatest benefits of living are won as a result of struggles and difficulties. Challenges make you strong in ways that ease cannot. Challenges are necessary to uncover and develop the heroes or your best selves, your true selves, latent strengths, the strength to persevere, to refrain from indulging in negative emotions and actions, to be patient, to follow a path other than the ego-driven one, to endure, to be calm and peaceful, to refrain from self-doubt and fear, to know what is true and act in accordance with that, to overcome destructive habits, and to resist destructive desires or ones that waste one's energy. People naturally try to avoid pain and challenges, but these are necessary and intrinsic to life, and therefore need to be embraced. The hero has learned to embrace challenges and not fall prey to victimization, self-pity, anger, sadness, resistance, overwhelm, hopelessness, or helplessness. The hero also has learned that making mistakes is a natural part of life and cannot be avoided. It's how people evolve. The hero sees this and accepts this. For instance, your will is developed because of the suffering caused by giving in to your weaknesses. You learn to love because of the pain of being unloving, and you learn to be careful because of the difficulties you experienced when you weren't. Through challenges, you learn how to live, and that's what life is about, how to live from a higher place than one's ego and animal instincts. Life is not about getting what the ego wants or thinks it needs. Life is already delivering exactly what you need. What you're getting is what you need. To grow in the ways you need to grow, you need whatever experience you're having. You know what you need by noticing what's in your life now. For instance, if you're struggling in your relationship, then that's your current curriculum. The lesson might be any number of things: to accept and allow, to not accept abuse, to not judge, to trust, to compromise, to overcome anger and selfishness, to be patient, or to love, which entails all of the other lessons. If your struggles are around supporting yourself, then that's your current curriculum. You're being asked to learn about making money, as well as cultivate the inner resources to cope with the lack of it. It's also a time for discovering what you love doing and what really matters to you. It's your chance to develop your talents and uncover ones you never knew you had, because only by doing so will you find meaningful and satisfying work that supports you. If you're struggling with health issues, then that may be a wake-up call. Is there something you need to change about how you're living your life? Your diet or other habits? Your attitude? Your lifestyle? Your relationships? Your job? Perhaps nothing has to be done except to accept and be willing to live with the limitations your health is providing. The lesson may be one of the deepest spiritual lessons of all: surrender to what is. Once you have that one mastered, you become a master, a hero. Life, including your life, is as it's meant to be, and wisdom is knowing this. Once you see this about life, you can relax into whatever experience you're having, make the most of it, and enjoy it for what it is, and not be unhappy about what it's not. You have what you need because life is always providing exactly what you need for your growth and otherwise. You may think you need to be healthy when you're not, or thin when you're not, or rich when you're not, or something else that you currently are not. But you are playing exactly the role or roles you came here to play in this drama of life and learning from them. Many of those roles change throughout life, which is another avenue of learning. Those who are poor may become rich, and those who are rich may become poor. Those who are healthy become sick, and those who are sick may become healthy. Those who are unsuccessful may become successful, and those who are successful may become unsuccessful. Everyone is playing the role or roles they're meant to play for the time being. Everyone is here to teach others, and everyone is here to learn. The beautiful person teaches you to overcome your jealousy, and he or she learns about the limits of beauty. The poor teach you compassion, and they learn inner strength. The rich teach you about your own greed and desires, and they learn about the same. The sick teach you to serve and remind you of your vulnerability, and they learn to receive. The disabled teach you gratitude, and they learn about limitation. Criminals show you how hurtful people can become when the ego is in control, and they learn the depth of suffering that's possible. Athletes teach you perseverance and endurance, and they learn the same. The victim teaches you not to be a victim, and he or she learns the same. Those who abuse their power teach you not to give away your power, and they learn the emptiness and pain of power executed without love. How quickly you learn these things is up to you, but everyone eventually learns, either in this lifetime or in another. Another way that others are your teachers is by triggering your negative emotions and judgments, which you need to take responsibility for and master. The beautiful woman didn't cause your jealousy, your desires caused it. The homeless person didn't cause your repulsion, your fear of being on the street did. The bad driver didn't cause your anger, your expectation that he or she should drive differently did. Your spouse didn't cause your hurt, your need for your spouse's approval did. For example, if you find yourself rejecting someone who's poor, you need to look at your fear of poverty and any judgments you have about those who are poor. Judgments and blame are how you avoid looking at your own fear of poverty and facing your own vulnerability. Once you do, compassion and love can then flow. Otherwise, love can't flow to others. You can transmute any negative emotion or judgment into love by seeing that there's nothing to reject outside yourself. Anything you're rejecting or judging about someone else is about you, not the other person. You created the repulsion, judgment, or negative emotion because you rejected something within yourself, something inherent in every human being. The greed you judge the rich for is in you too. The overindulgence you judge the heavy person for is in you too. The selfishness you judge your partner for is in you too. The superficiality you judge the beauty queen for is in you too. The laziness you judge the unemployed for is in you too. Every human being is endowed with the same flaws and the same virtues. When you can accept that what you're judging or rejecting in someone else is also within you, then you won't put others out of your heart for that. Have compassion for your own humanity, and you'll be able to have compassion and love for everyone else. It's painful to not love. Look inside and see how you prevent yourself from loving certain people, and that will free you to love, including to love yourself. When you don't love others, it's nearly impossible to love yourself because not loving makes you feel small and bad about yourself. Love, on the other hand, is proof of your greatness, your true nature, which is pure goodness. So you see, life doesn't need to be any different than it is. It's already being orchestrated perfectly, designed exquisitely for your growth and everyone else's. It was not designed to fit your desires and imagination, but God's. So let go and let God, as they so wisely say. This brings us to the deepest truth, which is that there is no such thing as beautiful or ugly, successful or unsuccessful, intelligent or unintelligent, rich or poor, sick or well, or any other duality or descriptor you can think of. Although these words are necessary for communication, they don't point to anything real. They are mental constructs, often utilized by the ego to support its black and white perspective, which categorizes everything and everyone as either good or bad. The ego paints in very broad brush strokes. In truth, there is no good or bad, only what is. The hero loves what is, while the ego loves only what it deems to be good and rejects or avoids the rest. But everything is needed to make this world go around. Everything and everyone is equally valuable, or the world wouldn't serve the hero's growth as beautifully as it does. Life is good, all of it. It is all as it's meant to be. Being happy requires accepting and loving all of it. To the extent that you don't, you'll be unhappy. Notice how it feels in your body when you reject something. It doesn't feel good. Now notice how it feels when you accept and love something. It feels good. That is your power. If you want to feel good, you can. All you have to do is accept and love whatever is, rather than reject it. Love reality just as it is. This is a choice. The hero embraces life just as it is, because he realizes there is no point in doing otherwise. Opposing what is doesn't change a thing except one's degree of happiness. The hero has observed reality and noticed the truth. Wanting things to be different than they are right now, or wanting the past to be different than it was, is fruitless and only causes unhappiness. For the hero, there really is no other choice but to love what is. Thank you for being here. I am with you always.